Good morning. Good morning. Let's bow our heads and pray. Oh God, as ever, on this fresh new morning, we thank you for the gift of another day. And always we thank you for the gift of our lives and the many blessings that you have bestowed upon us, knowing that all good things come from you. Lord, we just ask your blessing upon this meeting, upon all of us, upon each of our different businesses, nonprofits, all the endeavors that we undertake to make this community better. And we ask your blessing upon this community of Gulf breeds. We ask your blessing, your protection in a particular way upon all the people here, especially in light of recent events. Lord, we just ask your protection upon this community, especially upon our children in the schools. And we ask, Lord, that you would help us to always know what we can do to use the blessings and the good things that you've given us to make this place truly better and more safe for all. And we ask this all through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Thank you, Father Kennel. And now I'd like to invite Byron Stokes, the Director of Business Development with Landrum HR, to come up and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Byron. We always love to welcome our elected officials and special guests, and also those running for elected office. They have a great heart for our community, so we always like to recognize them as well. And so with us today we have Lacey Powell-Clark, who's candidate for circuit judge. Welcome, Lacey. And we also have Gulf Breeze City Councilman Tom Nail. And did anyone else sneak in after I passed on this? No? All right. Well, thank you guys for being here with us this morning. And then finally, I'd like to recognize our ambassadors. If you're an ambassador with the Chamber, will you please stand to be recognized? Thank you so much for all the hard work you've put into the Chamber. Jeremy and TJ was high-fiving. Is that an ambassador high-five? We're a very proud group. And Jeremy and Sharon Pitts and TJ are three of our platinum level ambassadors. And so if you have any questions, you want to get connected, you'd like to meet some folks or learn more about the Chamber, any of our ambassadors can help you out with that. So make sure you go and see them. Oh, and we have a new ambassador, Mark Ledbetter. Mark, did you stand up with the ambassador group?
I didn't. I wasn't.
He hasn't been inducted yet.
Read in on everything.
Yeah, he still has to go through the hazing process and everything first before he gets his hand up to the next.
I haven't learned the high five yet. So.
Okay. All right. Well, it is now my pleasure to introduce our incredible 2018 Chairman of the Board, Ms. Karen Alloy.
Good morning. So nice to see a great crowd this morning, especially with as cold as it was to get up and get out and get moving. So welcome everybody. I'm Karen Alloy. I am a coach, consultant, and CPA with a loyal vision. And don't you just love this time of year where you have to get all your paperwork together? So I'm happy to be breaking away and spending some time with you all this morning. It's now my pleasure to introduce our breakfast sponsor, RJ Young Company Incorporated. RJ Young is an office technology provider in today's ever-changing office. Your productivity in the office is how they are measured. Based in Nashville, Tennessee for over 60 years, RJ Young has become the second largest provider in the country with solutions from Canon, HP, Lexmark, and Ricoh. They partnered with software like Microsoft, Adobe, PaperCut, Nuance, and Square9 to solve the issues of paper storage and workflow in your office. With a parts and supply warehouse of over 12,000 square feet in Pensacola, RJ Young is able to handle any need from Tallahassee to Mobile, Alabama. They maximize the strength of over 500 employees in 27 locations in the Southeast to keep your business up and running. Remember, your productivity is their mission. Please join me in welcoming the man that needs no introduction and who will be celebrating a birthday on Saturday, TJ Edwards.
you. I had a bet with our director, Jason, that I couldn't get a standing ovation. So.
Check that off your card.
Oh, no.
You talk on it. Yes, you can. You can talk, tell them who you are.
So on your table there is a little introduction to R.J. Young. You heard her read it a while ago. Thank you very much, Karen, for doing that. On the back of it is all the leaders in our company here for the Gulf Coast. I've never had so much support in a local standpoint, from that standpoint. Chris Buffet, my manager, is here somewhere in the building. There he is. And thank you very much for sponsoring this today. So a little bit about R.J. Young. As you said, we're been in business for quite a while, but I can stand up here and tell you everything I want to tell you. We have our own YouTube channel. I really highly recommend you go there. You can see a lot of information. So I'm going to let our CEO, Chip Front, tell you a little story about our company now. Also on the inside of the little flyer that I laid on there is our promotion on Lexmarks right now. They're basically about 50% off. There's some really good discount there if you're in the market of a new printer or copier.
R.J. Young. It's an organization whose humble roots in the printing business date back more than 50 years. Today, it's the third largest independent office equipment dealer in the U.S., with 19 offices in 6 states and with a team of over 500 people. The R.J. Young of today most certainly looks much different than it did in 1955.
Mr. R.J. Young was out of Grand Rapids, Michigan, and the Ditto Corporation gave him an opportunity to start a new dealership in Nashville, Tennessee.
The Robert J. Young Company was built on value, service, and quality printing. It was an organization that experienced much success and growth over the decades. And as Mr. Young's business grew, new opportunities arose that would ultimately lead to a new, sustained partnership that would endure future decades.
That's when my father was given an opportunity to open a new dealership in Birmingham, Alabama. But Mr. Young did not want him to leave. So he said, "I'll sell you 30% of the business if you stay." And that's how it all began.
Since John T. Crunk took over the organization in 1986, it's been a family company focused on its employees, as well as a strong emphasis on customer service. The entire team is aligned on delivering nothing but the most exceptional customer care for our various office and document technology clients.
We're still focused on the document, but the thing that has changed is technology. That instead of just reproducing the document, now we store the document, we retrieve the document, we manipulate the document, but everything we do today is still focused on that document.
The industry is changing, technology is improving, and along with this change comes a need to stay ahead of the curve and deliver what our clients' needs are now and into the future.
Customers have different demands, and we got to have the technologies available to meet those demands. Different customers may need us to be able to store documents, to making very large banners. They may need us to manage their networks. We got to make sure we have the technology available to meet those needs.
Customers need a partner who can help them understand and navigate their new options, custom solutions, and the latest products. And that's why we're different.
Customer service, I think, is paramount to what we do here at R.J. Young. And one of the reasons I think we do a better job than most is because we do a better job of bringing the right people on board that will take care of the customer's needs on the spot.
We always make it right with our equipment, our service, and our supplies, and with your product.
As R.J. Young looks into the future, I think you're going to see technology make a bigger play, but it's still going to be focused on the document. The document is still the center point of what we do here at R.J. Young.
Today, we remain committed to offering leading solutions with expanded capabilities to securely manage paper and digital information, maintain vital information technology systems, and empower your business with leading printing technologies. R.J. Young, your productivity is our mission.
So thank you very much. I'm going to let you guys enjoy the rest of the program. We'll have a little bit of a spotlight from one of our current customers here soon. Thank you.
Thank you, TJ. We appreciate R.J. Young sponsoring today's breakfast. It's now a pleasure to introduce our new members who have attended here and present today, and ask them to give a 30-second commercial on who you are and about your business. So I'd like to invite Christina Powers of Christina Powers Tax to come up and tell us a little bit about her.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Christina Powers of Christina Powers Tax. We do taxes, bookkeeping, payroll, and incorporations. My passion is to help small businesses succeed. So if you know anyone that started a new business and needs help, send them my way. And my tagline is, Christina Powers Tax, we like to play, beat the government. Thank you. Thank you, Christina.
Eric Schneider, out of the Box Realty. Come on up and tell us a little bit about you.
Morning, I'm Eric Schneider with Box Realty. We are a local boutique firm that we focus on everything from investment to development, residential real estate, and the commercial side as well. Thank you.
Next, Travis Talley from Keller Williams Gulf Coast, the Talley Group.
Morning, Travis Talley with Keller Williams here, right here in Gulf Breeze proper. We're right by Taco Rock and Verizon on 98. And myself, my wife is an agent, and then we have a full-time transaction coordinator and assistant. And we service from Lido Key to Santa Rosa Beach, and celebrated helping 68 families and individuals last year and over 20 million in sales.
And Anthony Sawyer from 90 Works, please.
Thank you. Good morning. My name is Anthony Sawyer. I'm the Director of Outreach for 90 Works. We're a nonprofit organization that specializes in self-sufficiency. We help those who are homeless or vulnerable or going through crisis come back to self-sufficiency and thriving in 90 days. And we have a model that we use that gives us a 90% success rate of doing that. We have locations here in Pensacola, Milton, Mariana, and we operate in 59 counties out of Georgia also. Some of the programs we work with are the Healthy Families Network, the supportive services for veterans families, and we also work with the Panhandle Warrior Group. So anytime if you have more information, please check us out at 90works.org.
Thank you so much. It's now my pleasure to introduce Larry Patterson, Membership Development Manager, to talk to us a little bit more about Business of the Month.
Larry!
Good morning. The Business Development Committee needs your help. Look around the table. There are nomination forms. Before you leave today, please complete one of these forms so that we will be able to continue to have Businesses of the Month. Would love to say thank you, Jim Robert, for our plaque that you have provided for us. And it is with pleasure now that the committee is going to share with you our Business of the Month. Our Business of the Month recipient provides commercial, retail banking, investment, and mortgage services together with its affiliates in the states of Georgia, Alabama, South Carolina, and Tennessee. Of course, they're here with us in Florida. They were recognized in 2017 by the American Banker and Reputation Institute as the most reputable bank in 2017. Please congratulate with us Synovus Bank as our Business of the Month. Congratulations. Thank you very much.
Guys, come over this way a little bit so that not front screen.
You're behind the man.
Man, that's a good one.
I know everybody's kind of noticing the tape on my jacket. I know Donna's already tried to get it off. These are the words I was going to say this morning. Y'all want to hear a big speech? I was here back in, I think, August, and we moved, and I had all my clothes in a box, my suits, about half of them for like 9 months in cardboard boxes, and we pulled them out this weekend and hung them on the shelf, and I got this one out this morning and put it on, and it's got stuff all over it. And Donna was over there trying to clean me up earlier, but anyway, I'm glad to be here. That's my point. We just got moved into our house. We've been in a rental house, just got here from Georgia, and this community has really accepted me personally and my family, and this group right here is a really cool group. I don't get over here enough, but I enjoy it when I do. Larry and the folks at the chamber have been super nice to us. We enjoy delivering quality banking services through folks like Donna over here, Donna Cooper, and Gulf Breeze, and we appreciate your business and what you mean to this community. And keep up this good work that you're doing. Thank you.
I would have shared Pete's luck story, but I think it's all part of what you're going to hear from him this morning, so I'm excited that he's going to share. But I want to give you a little bit more background of what you may not already know about our own Coach Pete Chinnick. After a college coaching career spanning more than 25 years, Pete Chinnick came to the University of West Florida in 2014 as the school's first football head coach. The 2 years that followed his hiring was some of the most progressive in the country. He hired an extremely talented staff that included 2 former college head coaches and numerous former college standout players. The 2016 season saw the program compile a 5-6 record, marking the most wins by a first-year Division II program in a decade. The Argonauts also collected the school's first win over a ranked opponent, defeating number 16 Florida Tech at home before a sellout crowd on national television. UWF played before capacity crowds at the Blue Wahoo Stadiums 3 times and ranked 18th in the NCAA with a 6,328 attendee average. Coach Chinnick's career has included stints as a head coach at Azusa Pacific and UNC Pembroke, and he led the UWF football program in its first season in 2016. He was the 2017 AFCA National Coach of the Year, the 2017 D2Football.com National Coach of the Year, and the 2017 AFCA Region 2 Coach of the Year. Before getting his first head coaching job at Azusa Pacific, Coach Chinnick received a variety of experience as an assistant coach at multiple levels. His first assignment coach position was at Richmond in 1988, and he coached at 6 more universities: Arkansas, Clemson, Oregon State, Northern Michigan, St. Cloud State, and Humboldt State before landing at Azusa Pacific in 1999. Coach Chinnick graduated with a bachelor's degree in business from Colorado in 1988, and he was a 2-year letter winner as an offensive lineman for the Buffaloes in 1985 and 1986. He appeared in 21 games for Colorado, including the 1985 Freedom Bowl and the 1986 Bluebonnet Bowl. He later earned his master's degree in guidance and counseling from Clemson in 1992. He grew up in a football family, as his father, Don Chinnick, was a linebacker for the Baltimore Colts in the National Football League for 13 seasons. The elder Chinnick was a driving force behind the Colts' NFL championships in 1958 and 1959. He led the league in interceptions with 7 in 1959, and he still holds the career record for interceptions by a linebacker with 37. After his playing career, he spent time as an assistant coach in the NFL with the Chicago Bears, St. Louis Cardinals, Oakland Raiders, and New England Patriots. Coach Shinnick was born in Baltimore, Maryland, and graduated from high school in Columbia, Missouri. He and his wife Tracy are the proud parents of 4 children, Anna, Rachel, Elijah, and Benjamin. Join me in welcoming Coach Pete Shinnick.
Thank you very much. Thank you all. And thank you for all you do, too. Thank you for all your contributions to the community and the opportunity to talk to you today. I'm going to move around a little bit. If you can't hear me, I feel sorry for you. And if you're up front, I feel sorry for you as well. It'll go right through you. We had the opportunity to come here 4 years ago and start the program from scratch. And a little bit, my second head coaching job at the University of North Carolina, Pembroke, we did the exact same thing. We started the program from scratch. And doing that is a very long, drawn-out process. Okay, so at Pembroke, I got hired in January and then went a whole year without coaching. And then we played our first season about 18 months later. Okay, and while we were doing that 12 years ago, I told my wife, don't ever let me start a program from scratch again. And I would, about every 2 months, I'd remind her, I'd go, this is just a long, drawn-out process. It's a long time to not coach. It's a long time to not coach a game. There's just a lot that has to take place. Well, we did that. We had some great success at Pembroke, and then the University of West Florida was going to start a program from scratch. And learned a little bit about it, and I went to my wife Tracy and I said, honey, UWF is starting a program from scratch. What do you think? And she goes, oh no. You told me never to let you start a program from scratch. And I was like, yeah, I know. And she said, no. And she goes, I remember how bad it was. I remember how long it was. You talked about how difficult it was. I could see that it pained you to not coach games. And I said, yeah, but have you seen the beaches in Pensacola? And she hadn't, and she didn't know much about Pensacola, okay? And so then she went online and saw the beaches in Pensacola, and she came back and she goes, I don't think it'll be that hard. I think you'll be able to do it. So, fortunately got her blessing, and we were able to make that work. And so it's been 4 years. It's been a blast. We've obviously only played 2 seasons, but those first 2 years, it really is a long, drawn-out process. And there really is a lot that needed to take place, and a lot that really needed to happen before we could actually get on the field in 2016. Want to take you through a little bit of that journey, but give you a little bit of my background first. I grew up, and it was mentioned, in a football family. Okay, I have 4 brothers. 3 of my brothers played Division I football, and so I played at the University of Colorado. My brother Josh played at UCLA. While he was at UCLA, he went to 3 Rose Bowls and a Fiesta Bowl. My brother Adam, probably the most highly recruited of all of us, he went to Penn State. My dad was coaching with the Patriots at the time, and he was the New England Player of the Year, very highly recruited student athlete. Really could have gone anywhere he wanted. He could go to Penn State, he could have gone to Alabama, he could have gone to Notre Dame, Florida State, he could have gone anywhere. And then my youngest brother, Chris, who's really the smartest of all of us, he played at the University of Hawaii. Okay? So we all won a lot more games than Chris. We all played on much better teams when he got to play at the University of Hawaii. So we called him the smartest, and then he actually went out and backed it up because he became an academic All-American his senior year. And so as I grew up around the game, in and around football, that was really kind of my life. I really watched my dad, saw how he interacted, saw the type of coaching style that he had. And I really, growing up, had no idea, just kind of how special it was to be the son of an NFL coach. And when I was in, I think it was about the 5th grade, there was a kid in my class, and he came in and he was all excited about getting Ken Stabler's autograph. And so he's showing it to me, and I'm not impressed. And he's trying to impress me with Ken Stabler's autograph. And I'm like, okay, yeah. And he's like, well, isn't this pretty cool? I'm like, well, I was playing catch with him on Saturday. I don't know what you're so excited about. But that coach with the Raiders, we'd go to practice, play catch with all those guys, catch punts from Ray Guy, or try to, that type of thing. And then, so I learned a lesson in humility. I went back, told my parents what had taken place, and they're like, okay, your reaction was terrible, son. You gotta learn how to handle these things. Not everybody gets to play catch with Ken Stabler, but that was really growing up. Got a chance to see what coaching looked like firsthand. Got a chance to be on the sidelines, be in meeting rooms, and really see what type of impact and influence that you can have. And that's really why I got into coaching. Wanted to have a positive impact on those around me. Wanted to be able to have an opportunity to really impart some great values in the young men that we spend time with. And growing up, watching my dad do that. I've been really blessed because now that I coach, I've run into a lot of his former players, a lot of people that he coached with, and just to hear people talk about, what type of person he was, great blessing in my life. Give you a little bit, or I'll give you one story really about my dad that kind of tells you a lot about him. And I think it'll tell you two things. Number one, he was a very honest person, and number two, he did have a little bit of a sense of humor. As was mentioned, he holds the NFL record for most interceptions by a linebacker. Okay, and Ray Lewis got close a couple years ago, and he was at about 31, and then Ray retired. Okay, so I just want you to know a couple things. First off, prayer does work, because we prayed as brothers that Ray would retire. Ray did retire. Now, selfishly, what we were hoping as my brothers and I are texting, going back and forth as Ray's playing, we're like, hey, maybe he could get up. My dad has it at 37. Maybe Ray could get up to about 34, 35, so they'd start mentioning that my dad has the record, get my dad a little airtime. Never really got to that. It was just Ray's getting close, and could be. Dad's name never got into it. But my dad, the story that I want to tell you, he is credited with tackling Gale Sayers in the open field. Oh, wow. Okay? Yeah, oh, wow. So, Gale Sayers is one of the few guys to make it into the NFL Hall of Fame with really less than 6 seasons of play. And the reason why is because he was so dynamic while he played that, he didn't have necessarily a 10, 12-year career. He had about a 7-year career, 8-year career, but his statistics are phenomenal. And he was as good an athlete in that era as there was. If you were to look at my dad, or people talk about my dad, they would not say my dad was as good an athlete in that era. So to tackle Gale Sayers in the open field, really a game-saving tackle, is a tremendous accomplishment. My dad played defensive right outside linebacker, which is about right out there where the food is. It was a 4th and 5 situation, and Gale Sayers was lined up on the offensive left, and Gale swung out for a swing pass. And if I was the quarterback at the time and I dropped back and I saw Gale Sayers and Don Chinnick, I'd go, this is a no-brainer. I'm going to throw the ball to Gale Sayers. So the quarterback does, and he's sitting there going, the drive's going to continue, we're going to be in great shape because we know Gale's going to get the first down. Well, my dad tackles Gale for a 1-yard gain. It's 4th and 5, boom, game over, Colts go win the game. After the game, the press is interviewing my dad, talking and saying, Don, you tackled Gale Sayers in the open field. They're even kind of shocked. They're like, how did you do it? My dad, very honest man. He said, well, when Gale made his first move, I started to react to it. And then Gale, being the great athlete that he was, he made his second move. My dad said, I was still reacting to his first move. Okay? And then when Gale made his third move, he ran right into me. So you learn a little bit about, what it looked like, what his perspective was, and how he got it done. But in doing that, that's what I grew up around. I grew up watching coaching, I grew up seeing it, and really felt like we had a great opportunity to, impact and influence people, like I said, in a positive way. So when you start a program from scratch, you have no one else really to blame for who your players are or what it looks like. You get an opportunity to pick and choose who you're going to bring into the program. All right? Now, at the University of West Florida, when I was being interviewed, They said, what's the foundation of your program going to be? What are you trying to accomplish? And I said, we have 3 goals. And we talk to our players all the time about these 3 goals. Number 1, we want to help each player become a better husband, father, employer, employee. And we're going to talk about that on a daily basis, and we're going to deal with that as to how we deal with that. Number 2, we want them to graduate in 4 or 4.5 years. All right? And number 3, we want to play great football. And then having been a head coach, I've been a head coach for 16 years, in the interview process, I flipped that and I said, look, I understand that if I don't win, you're going to get rid of me, because that's the nature of college football. Well, Dr. Judy Benz was the president at the time, and she was in the room while I said that. And if you know Dr. Benz, she's very straightforward, she's very competitive, she wants to win. When I really wasn't even done saying, hey, and I know if I don't win, you're going to fire me, she turned around and said, you're exactly right. That's what we're going to do. We'll get rid of you if you don't win. Which was a great sign if you're a competitor and you want to be at a place that values competition. But again, our foundation of our program is really, we're going to do it to try to impact and influence young men in a positive way. We talk about really 4 things in our program that we're trying to get done on a daily basis. Number 1, our program theme is the Greek word arete, A-R-E-T-E, and it means excellence. It means moral virtue. It means fulfilling one's utmost potential. So when we talk to our players, we talk about them living up to a standard of excellence. And I think the only way you can take a team in its 2nd year of existence to the national championship game is to have a bunch of people who believe in a higher expectation than anybody else around them. I really believe our team was, not overly talented or more talented than everybody we played. I think our team was equally talented, if not less talented, than some of the people we played. And I think everybody who watched us said, we can beat this team. But our team said, we can beat you. And our team believed in the standard that we were setting. We talk about 3 core values on a daily basis with our group. We talk about positive energy, we talk about unity, and we talk about smart hard work. Smart hard work really is, we're going to try to be as efficient as we possibly can in everything that we do. The great coach John Wooden had his pyramid of success. One of his cornerstones was the word industriousness. That's a little bit too big of a word for me. I played offensive line, didn't know that I could spell it right every time, so I just came up with smart hard work. Okay? That kind of fit the model of what I was trying to do. But it's really utilizing our time and maximizing our resources to the utmost of our potential. Positive energy, I'm a big John Gordon fan, wrote the Energy Bus, Training Camp. He's got a bunch of books out there really talking about how to speak to people and how to get rid of the negativity and how to really emphasize the positive. There's a lot of ways to coach, and there's a lot of ways to encourage the people that you work with, and there's a lot of ways to impact and influence those around you. We're going to try to do it in a positive manner, and we're going to try to do it in a way that really sets up success in what people are doing. We're trying to give them an image of success. I've heard a lot of coaches who tell people, you've got hands like bricks, you can't catch the ball. That's a negative image. That's a terrible image. If I'm a person who is a visual learner and I'm thinking of my hands as bricks, I'm probably not going to catch the ball. Okay? So we talk about looking the ball in. We talk about having soft hands. We talk about catching the ball, not dropping the ball. And so we do a lot of little things that really just try to get to each individual to get them to be at the highest level that they possibly can. In 2016, we played our first season. We started off very well. We got to the place really at the end of the year where we were 5-3. And I was like, okay, we've got a great chance in 16 to kind of finish on a strong note. The last 3 games of 16, we got killed. Really ran out of gas. Young team ran out of gas. Going into 2017, I felt like we were a much better football program. But we got to the end of the year and we were 5-3 again. And we were getting ready to play 2 teams on our schedule that the year before had beaten us 120-3. So that's who we're getting ready to end our season with. Yeah, exactly. The look on your face was exactly the look. Well, my job was to tell our guys that we were better. My job was to tell our guys that I believed in them. And I kept telling them all through the year, We are better than 2016, but guys, right now we're 5-3. Last year we were 5-3. We have nothing to show if we don't finish the way I think we're capable of finishing. We'll have nothing to show for it. So we got to take this thing one game at a time. We go out, team that beat us 51-3, we beat them 31-7. Last home game, Wahoo Stadium, great crowd, fantastic day for us. Now we got to go play the number 16th ranked team in the country, who beat us the year before 69-0. And I'm telling our team, look, we can beat these guys. We can get after these guys. You guys just gotta, here's what we gotta do. And here's how we lost 69-0. Here's how we're going to beat them. This is what this picture looks like. We go up, we beat them 34-31, which now made us 7-3, and really put us in the playoff conversation. And I had told our team 2 weeks before, I said, I really believe a three-loss team is gonna make the playoffs. And there actually ended up being three loss teams that made the playoffs. Us, West Georgia, who we beat, and then Harding made it as well. So the prediction became right that a three-loss team was going to make the playoffs. Now we got an opportunity to do something, go to the playoffs. All right. Now you get this. You get to be able to say this, for about 2 or 3 years in your program. And so we had played 21 games before we went to the playoffs. So in the history of our program, we had never won 3 games in a row. Okay, so I got about another year where I can say the history of our program, and it still kind of works that way because we're young. But we've never won 3 games in a row, and now we're getting ready to go to the playoffs. I tried to use that as a motivational tool early in the season. We had started off 2-0, and I'm like, guys, we got a great milestone right here. We can win 3 games in a row. First time in the history of the program. Let's get it done. We lost that game. So going into the playoffs, I'm like, I'm not even going to bring that up. Forget trying to win 3 games in a row. Let's just try to win this game. Well, what we did is we won our first playoff game. Actually beat the 14th ranked team 31-0, went up there to do it. We became the fastest team in NCAA history to make the playoffs. We did it in 2 years. The record that we beat was the team that we were at UNC Pembroke. At UNC Pembroke, we did it in 3 years. So that was kind of always one of my internal goals coming here was, can we get this done a little quicker than we did at Pembroke? And then we went on and won 3 more games and became the fastest team to make it to the national championship. And our goal, obviously, next year is to be the fastest team to win a national championship, just not get into the national championship. What I'm not going to tell our players, we really have about 3 years, because the fastest team to do it was CSU Pueblo. They did it in their 6th year. We're just going to try to do it next year and just solve that. So with that, we really, being able to come here and being able to really embrace Pensacola, this area, UWF, been a great adventure for us. And my family and I are very excited to be here. I've got 2 boys at Tate. I got a daughter who graduated from UWF. I got another daughter that's working on a degree as well. So being here for the last 4 years has just been a blessing. We thoroughly enjoyed it. Great place to be. We're excited about the future. We're excited about playing at Wahoo Stadium. Next year we open up on a Thursday night. We'd love to have you come to a game. If you haven't been to a game, it's a phenomenal experience. We really have the best of both worlds. We got the Wahoo staff to work it, and then we've got a football game, which a little more fast-paced than baseball, right? A little more action going on. So we've really got the best of both worlds. And when they told me we were playing there, and again, starting a program, you never know what you're going to get. I was really excited that you could sit and see the bay, okay, from the stands, because I was like, I have no idea how good we're going to be. So at least people have a good view early on. They'll have something pretty to look at if we're not very good. Football turned out pretty well, and then the view turned out pretty well also. We got 5 home games next year. We'd love to have you come out. If you haven't been to a game, we'd love to get you there. If you have been, we appreciate that. We got 5 home games next year. If you're interested and you're a football person, love football, April 21st is our spring game. That's up on campus on our turf field, Penn Air Field. I know there's a lot of people who think that that's a long way away, okay, our campus. I came in, somebody said, did you spend the night in Gulf Breeze? So I understand that some people think we're a long ways away. It's not. I I drove down this morning, okay, I'm driving back. I think some people think you gotta take a barge to get up to our campus or something like that, but we are close. Would love to have you up on campus, April 21st, 11 o'clock. Come kind of check out what next year's gonna look like. So, with go till 8:11, so I'm right on time. Any questions that I can answer? Yes, sir.
What's the future look like for a stadium at the, I love going to Wahoo Stadium, and I'm just curious, do you guys like it?
We're waiting for the Gulf Breeze Chamber of Commerce to build a stadium on our campus, and so I know you guys are going to meet on that later, so I appreciate that. Yeah, we love being at Wahoo Stadium. We'd love to be back. We'd love to be up on campus at some point in time, but I think we got kind of the best of both worlds. The UWF historic campus and the downtown campus, and we're getting some other initiatives downtown. I think really what that partnership with downtown Pensacola and UWF has done has really kind of broadened the horizons and connected, our city with our school. I would say some point in time that will take place, but that's there's a lot of people above my pay grade that kind of talk about that and handle that. But we're just going to take advantage of being downtown for however long that is. I think we're getting ready to sign a new contract and be down there for a little bit, so we're excited about it.
Coach, you look a lot younger in person than you do on ESPN in the cold.
Well, I'll tell you, the cold will age you. All right, so we're excited to be here, and when you wake up and it's 67 and you go, oh, I got to put a jacket on. That's good. That's good.
Yeah, I had the pleasure of listening to you a couple weeks ago at the at Scopolo's, and you said something then I thought would be good to share with the crowd to demonstrate what you were talking about, the core values that you try to instill in your players, about the sideline conduct that you command.
Well, no, I appreciate that. So, first off, we do things a little differently than a lot of programs, and I've really set the sideline up, I've set the program up to be very family friendly. And my dad, like I said, he coached for 16 years in the NFL. My dad coached a lot of guys. I never heard my dad use a cuss word. I never heard my dad use profanity. And I heard him coach people at a very high level. I think he coached 4 guys in the Hall of Fame. And so, my dad made a comment to me early on in my coaching career. I've never seen anybody run faster. I've never seen anybody lift more weights. I've never seen anybody tackle better because they're using profanity. And he goes, I've never seen a coach communicate an idea better just because they're doing that. So we really are a family-friendly environment. Part of our, what we call our core, it's our 3 sets of 3, which is really our guidelines, is we have a no cussing, PG mentality, okay? And so we put the PG mentality in there, and I said, look, I got a bunch of, videotapes back from when my kids were little. I can show you what a PG movie looks like, okay? So that you understand what we're trying to do. But really creating that, and what it stemmed from early on in my coaching career, I had a head coach whose daughter asked to spend time with him during games. And the coaching profession's a tough one. It's very hard on families. And there's a lot of time away from your family. I mean, basically from August 1st until our national championship game, I'm working 7 days a week. I'm doing a lot. So in trying to find ways to spend time with your family, you're always looking for that. My wife does a phenomenal job coming out to practice, bringing the kids out to practice, doing different things to make that work. But one of the things that I wanted to be able to do was have my family around me. This coach told his daughter the sideline of a game is no place, for a young adult. No place for a girl. And so I made the decision then, when I heard that, I was 25 years old, I said, whenever I'm a head coach, I'm going to control the environment that I'm in charge of. I can make that sideline whatever I want it to be. I can make that sideline a family-friendly place. I can make it a place where my daughter can be with me. And for the last 6 years, my daughters have been on the sideline with me. They take notes for me. So they write down all the stuff that's either good or bad that's taking place. And then at halftime and at the end of the game, I kind of look at that. But really creating that environment because of, what I want to do. I want to spend more time with my kids. And, it's worked out extremely well. If you come to a game, you're going to see my kids on the sideline. You're going to see, if you come to a practice, we don't go, oh, hey, the president's coming to practice right now. Watch your mouth. And we're always doing what we do, and it always works out extremely well. But for me, that's the environment that I want to control. That's the environment I want to show up to every day. I'm in charge of it. So we're going to set the standard as to what it looks like and how we're going to do it. Yes, sir.
Coach, what is the one thing that you learned just one thing that you learned from your father that you've implemented today in your coaching?
Oh, I think the one thing is, and I learned a lot, and I've taken a lot from him. But, you know, I think the one thing is don't ever forget what it was like to be a player. And so, you know, as I've grown up in the profession as a volunteer, as a graduate assistant, as an assistant coach, as a coordinator, and then as a head coach, just always remember what it's like to be in those positions. But when I'm coaching someone, I'm trying to do it like I want to be coached. So how do I want to be talked to? How do I want to be encouraged? You know, I think a lot of coaches miss an opportunity to inspire and motivate people. I think they just try to, you know, they're doing it for their ego or they're doing it for them or whatever. You know, when I get done, I want to have had a positive impact on them, but I also want to inspire them and motivate them to play great football. You know, part of that's selfish. I want to keep my job. Right. But at the same time, I want to treat them the way I want to be treated. You know, and we have a line that, hey, we're gonna treat you just like if you were our own kids or if we were coaching our own kids, because that's extremely important to us.
Yeah. In the business world, millennials are a big talk, the younger generation, connecting with them. You probably do that with the younger generation more than any of us. How do you connect with them? What seems to work well for you?
Yeah, it's a time-based process. It really is, and it's you know, how can we get something done without a phone? How can we get something done with, you know, without a computer? And how do we get face-to-face? We spend a lot of time face-to-face early on, just trying to find out where people are, what they do. We do something at the beginning of camp where we'll sit around in groups of about 10 to 12, and each guy has about 2 minutes to tell his life story. Where he grew up, who his family members were, who his hero was, what his strengths are, what his weaknesses are, and really just trying to connect. And from that, we're just trying to glean where they are. You find out a lot of different things about a lot of people. And then from there, you want to build on that. And obviously, you know, I'm closer with my seniors than I am my freshmen because I've had 4 or 5 years with them. But it's always just trying to break down that barrier. And I think, you know, I realized it about 7 years ago, you know, that this generation thinks texting is a conversation, you know. And I remember one of the guys got injured, and he was in the hospital, and I was like, hey man, if you talk to the guy who hit you, and he's like, yeah, we just had a conversation. And I'm like, when? And he goes, oh, about a couple minutes ago. And I've been with the guy in the hospital. And I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, yeah, he texted me. And I mean, but they think a text is a conversation. And I'm like, no, we got to have a verbal conversation. We got to, you know, we got to get eye to eye. We got to get face to face. We got to be able to do that. And so that's really, you know, in recruiting, we try to do as much verbal conversation as we do the texting. Now, texting's convenient, all that's nice, but it's just trying to, you know, look a guy in the eye and see where it is. And then knowing, obviously, what's going to motivate them, finding out more about them, what's going to drive them. It's still time-based. And I mean, we're trying to invest as much time in each guy as we can to just figure out where they're at.
Because what can we do for UW football as a business community?
No, you know, keep supporting us. Keep coming to games. Keep being there. I mean, we were, as mentioned, we were 18th in the country in attendance in Division II. We'd like to get in the top 12. We'd like to be able to get, you know, I mean, we're opening up on a Thursday night next year. I think that's August 30th. We'd like to get 7,000 people in there. Are there any fire marshals in here? we want to pack that place and get as many people in there as we possibly can. If there is a fire marshal in here, we want to just fill it to capacity. But yeah, so just keep supporting us. Keep coming out. And here's what I'd say. If you're not a season ticket holder, that's fine. If you want to come to a game, you know, the paper's going to say, just show up. All right, show up. I'm pretty sure we'll sell you a ticket if you're there. Okay? And you guys have been to a Wahoo game. I mean, you can walk around, I mean, standing room only. We've got it all. Just come and experience it. We'd love to have you there. It's a great venue. We're trying to provide, a great thing for you to watch, but we'd love to just have you there and just continue to do that. And then that stadium in a couple years on campus would be great. We appreciate that.
Just kind of follow up on the question you had about being a coach, kind of liking it to a CEO. And, you know, you're kids or your employees, what is one takeaway you mentioned about how you kind of mentor them for the real world? What is your kind of key takeaway for that?
Yeah, two things: honesty and responsibility. Okay, and we tell our guys we need you to be 100% honest with us. This generation has a great, they have a great knack for just providing what you think they need to tell you instead of the whole truth. Okay, I got a brother who's a lawyer, and I tell our guys, look, I'm not going to sit in here and do a 3-hour deposition on you just to figure out what the truth is. You got to give it to me so I can help you. And then number two, and it's really responsibility, but John Gordon wrote the book, The Energy Bus. The number one rule of the energy bus is you're the driver of your bus. Don't blame other people for what's taking place in your life. Don't look for somebody else to shed that responsibility to. Take ownership of your life. Take ownership of what you're doing. Be responsible, and know that your actions have consequences, both good and bad. And we're going to praise you for the good, but at the same time, we're going to hold you accountable for the bad.
So, question. So, how would you present the value of the program to the non-player, non-participants in the program for the school? The reason I say that is it's a massive investment up front for the school. What's the value of the program beyond the players themselves, the participants in the program, for everybody else? How do you sell
Sure,
the program?
and I think, what does football bring? Okay, and what is football going to do? Okay, so when you have success, I think a lot takes place. But I just think you look at the awareness that football has raised at the University of West Florida. And I'm not going to take responsibility for the millions and millions of dollars that have been given since football has been started. But I think when you look at the major gifts that have taken place in the last 4 years, it's increased tremendously. Is that because of football? Is that because of the growth of the university? I think there's a nice tie to that. Okay? I think when you look at the positive publicity that we have brought to the university over the course of the last 2 years, nothing else is bringing that type of publicity to our campus. When you look at the Pensacola News Journal and Channel 3, the amount of times that we were on there for the run that we had and what took place, the fact that our basketball team has made it to the, I think when you throw all sports in that category, you can't buy a 3.5-hour advertisement on ESPN2 like we had playing in the national championship. So I think there's a lot of positive that comes with that. It raises the awareness and the profile of the university. It gets alumni back. We have more people coming back during the fall than has ever taken place in the history of the program because they're coming back to be a part of it. We have more students coming to a football game than we do any other event. We have more people involved that want to be a part of that. And I think that's just what football does. And obviously I'm pro football, it's my life. So, but I mean, with that, there's so much good that it can do. And I think when you're looking at the Division II model, I mean, we're not talking Division I millions and millions of dollars, okay? When you're looking at the Division II model, I have 120 players on my team. I have 36 scholarships. So basically that means I've got over 80 guys that are paying for everything. Now, it doesn't work out that way because I break up those 36 scholarships and I spread them across the board. So we're really paying for a lot of what we're doing. And at the same time, we're raising enrollment, we're bringing other people, and I think we've raised the profile of the university. And that's one of the reasons you start football. And I think it becomes a great rallying point for your alumni, for your local town. I mean, we have 6,000 people show up to a UWF event. Okay? The only other time that takes place is graduation.
And it's a self-funding event, right?
Really is. All right. Thank you very much.
Coach, thank you so much for coming and being our guest speaker today. We are very proud to support UWF and the great program that you have. And one of the things that I know stands out so much for me is the values that you instill into the program and the students and the players as well. And so we just had a small little gift that you can hang on your wall. I'm sure you probably have tons of youth all over your wall with all the times you have been featured in the PNJ. But we're proud to continue to
Thank you. appreciate it.
Go on.
Go Argos.
All right, well, it is time for our 10-second talking points. So if you have an announcement that you would like to share with the group, go ahead and come and line up to my right here. And if you don't know, 10-second talking points is your opportunity to share something about your business, if you have a special going on, an event, anything that you'd like to share with the group. TJ, you get to come first since he's our sponsor. We're going to give him a minute because he has one more little video he wants to share while everyone's lining up.
Thank you. I promised a testimony from one of our customers in being football team. Tennessee Titans has been one of our longtime customers.
Yes.
RJ Young has been a founding partner of the Tennessee Titans here at LPP. It's now in our 15th year. They provided anything we needed business-wise to run any event here at LP Field. We place an incredible amount of trust in RJ Young because whether it comes for copiers, faxes, or any of our business needs, RJ Young and their technicians are always there to deliver for us 24 hours a day. Our football organization would not be as prepared for games week in and week out without the relationship that we have with RJ Young, the commitment to having techs on board all week long at night and being on call so that when we're cranking out those playbooks that we're ready to go and we have no hiccups. RJ Young is there for your needs. They're there 24 hours a day. They're a relationship-driven company and one that we're very, very proud to have a long-term relationship with.
Learn more at rjyoung.com.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Also, real quick announcement, Gumbo, Rotary Gumbo, March 24th down at Shoreline Park. I have tickets if you want to go. It's for Gumbo's High School Scholarship.
All right, guys, I wonder what Miss Betty's going to tell us about. I wonder what you're going to tell us.
My name is Betty Archer Allen, and I am a football founder. And I wanted to remind you that Guthries Arts is having their Guthries Festival this weekend, 10th and 11th. And we would really appreciate your coming because you'll really enjoy it. You might even find some antique you like. Thank you.
Good morning, Barbara Udit with the Gulf Breeze Area Historical Society, which we will be at the Art Festival. And but our monthly meeting will be next Thursday evening, so a week from now. And Lisa Newell is our speaker, and she's going to do a great presentation about the history of the Sentinel tied in with the Gulf Breeze News. Thank you. 6 o'clock at the Community Center.
Y'all are lucky. I completely forgot. I haven't been here for 2 months and I forget to get my timer out, so I'm just going to trust you're doing 10 seconds.
Mine may be a little longer. Hi, I'm Jody Bell. I wanted to invite you to the next Education Committee meeting, which will be April the 3rd. We rotate from school to school. This one will be at Gulf Breeze Elementary, 11:30 lunch. We have principals and administrators talk about what's happening at their schools. And then we have a guest speaker who talks a little bit about something that's connecting education and businesses together. And then from there, if you're still able to stay for an extra 15 minutes or so, we do some sort of tour of the school where the principal gets to show off something that's going on at their school that's really awesome that they want to share. This past week, we were at Oriole Beach. We had about 25 people there. And the theme from administrators was safety, social media, and testing, which has been a big deal this week. So I think you really enjoy it. April 3rd, Gulf Breeze Elementary, 11:30.
Hi, I'm Terry Duncan with Irma's Chiropractic. I just want to invite everyone out this month to Business After Hours. It is at our facility, and we would love to see all of you there.
Hey, good morning. I'm Corey Booth, and we are excited about the Fairways Freedom Golf Tournament. You've got lots of literature here. Great way to come out, and your business can set up on a hole for $150. A lot of golfers coming out, or you can just do a tee sign. We have a committee meeting this Tuesday at 11:30 at the chamber office. And just a little note, last year, a scratched golfer, so someone who's very good, said this was probably one of the best tournaments he's ever participated in. So whether you are a player, lots of fun, or a great way to have your business out there sponsor. So love to have you, 11:30 Tuesday. See me afterwards.
Good morning, my name is Michelle Caldwell, and I'd like to congratulate the University of West Florida men's basketball team for making it to the NCAA championship for the first time ever. Just throwing that out there, and congratulations on you. The Monument to Women Veterans is hosting some luncheons at these hotels. They're on Pensacola Boulevard. This organization sponsored our Home for the Holidays, and they helped us for 5 years to take homeless veteran families off the streets and gave us free hotel rooms. They have now remodeled those hotel rooms and are giving a percentage of each hotel room back to our local VFW and Monument to Women veterans. So if your business ever brings employees into town or needs any booking or any games or baseballs, we would love to do that and give a percentage back to veteran organizations here. And I know I went over. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Sharon Pitts. I'm District Manager for Kelly Services. And we have a brand new office. I know I told you all about it, but we didn't have our signs and stuff. So now everything's in place. We'd love you to come. Ribbon cutting, we're having two because we know half of you have vacation in March. We'll do one in March, one in April. But this one is going to be Tuesday at 9:30. I have invitations. You don't need one to come. But if you're one of those people that'll forget, I'll put one in your hand. Thank you. We hope you come.
Good morning, Jeanette Crummell with Pro Health Medical Care. I know some of you made a New Year's resolution to lose weight and that's gone by the wayside. We have a new prescription weight loss program at our clinic. Come try us out. We guarantee you will lose weight if you use our program or we'll give you your money back.
I'm Mike Jerkowitz with Dreamcatcher Shuttle Service. 10 seconds, 10% discount for members when they use my service.
All right. We're going to get that. And we'll make sure we get that up as a member-to-member deal on our website as well. What a great opportunities to promote what you have going on. All right, if you brought a door prize, go ahead and come up and grab your door prize and line up. Remember, door prizes are a great way to promote your business as well because you get to introduce yourself and who you are and give that to the winner. And, pardon? No, we'll bring the cards over here. Please, thank you. Larry's slapping. Where is he? And while everyone's lining up, I do want to just give a couple announcements. We have a ribbon cutting today. The Beacon and Gulf Breeze is having a grand reopening of their memory care center. That's going to be at 2 o'clock and they have an open house till 5. So if you're able to come out and join the Beacon for that, I'm sure they would love to have you come out. And then we have our Networking to Breeze luncheon next Thursday, March 15th at the Hampton Inn and Suites in Gulf Breeze, and that's going to be sponsored by Chick-fil-A. Terry had already mentioned the business after hours on March 22nd at Irma's Chiropractic and Health Center, so please join us for that. And see Corey for more information about the golf tournament on Friday, May 11th. So again, I want to thank RJ Young for sponsoring today's breakfast, for Andrews for being great host, and Miss Betty for always taking such great care of us, for all of you for coming, and again, Coach Shinnick, thanks for coming and being our speaker today. So let's see who can win some stuff.
Got a free B12 shot.
Free B12 shot to
energy.
Troy Holt with sprints.
Jim with Plastic Engraving, and I have a custom engraved water bottle. And I also wanted to remind people it's time to fill your swag closets. The golf tournament's coming up, runs, and so forth. So see me, I'll give you a business card.
You can just turn around and give that to Michelle Caldwell from the Monument to Women.
Good morning. We're actually giving away a 2-night stay at the Clarion, and to give you a correlation where this is, it's next door to Sam's Fun City. So if you have children or whatever that you'd like to just, as he said, get a bus to go to the other side of town, you can stay the night at the Clarion for 2 nights for free.
Lacey, don't run out the door yet because you just won that stay. Lacey Talcott came in for today. Hi. Cutting board. A beautiful cutting board from Synovus. Sorry, Coastal Bank and Trust. And that goes to Tom Nail. Oh, yeah, Tom is still here. Well, this card is Tom with the Optimist Club, so that's the hat he's going to wear and go from today.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Teresa Roush. I'm the local rep for Pensacola News Journal. I see a few familiar faces in here, but I haven't had a chance to connect with you. I'd love to talk with you about how we can help your business grow.
So if you bring door prizes, you win door prizes. So you can take that to Donna Cooper from Synovus Bank. Very common door prize.
Hi, I'm Donna. I'm manager at Tropical Solutions, and I have a Woolly Bug, and inside is a $15 gift card.
And that goes to Laura Beck from Allura Massage. Right over here.
I'm
Charles Thornton, 1982 graduate of the University of West Florida, School of Business, and I've been up in school, but I'm not here for that today. I'm also the marketing director, currently the marketing director for Good Time Tours, and what I want to do, we're a luxury motor coach company that make daily trips to Encino. I have 4 tickets for free rides on the, include the schedule. I'm going to give away 2 to one person and 2 to another person, if you don't mind.
Well, again, you can just turn around and give one of those to TJ Edwards. I promise you, I'm not looking at this guy. And then the other one is going to go to Renee Richard up with the Hampton on Pensacola Beach. Renee, here she is. Oh, yes, Avalex. We got a swag bag from Avalex, and that'll go to Anthony Sawyer with 90 Works.
I'm RJ Young, we have a nice Yeti.
Corey Booth with Golf Power.
Nice.
Corey's gone. Corey's left. RJ Young, we also have a $50 gift card.
To RJ Young or?
To anybody.
Oh, Visa.
The Visa.
All right, and that is going to go to Carissa Roosh with the Pensacola News Journal. So you know what this means. Notice how many people brought door prizes and won door prizes. So everyone should bring a door prize to the next event. So again, thank you guys. Sorry we're getting you out of here a few minutes late, but we hope you have a wonderful day and enjoy the weather. We can't wait to see you at our next Gulf Breeze Chamber event.